Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Amber Rain Davis from NotableInk.com. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're going to be making some modern Christmas cards with some geometric shapes for Simon Says Stamp's Fun and Festive release. I had a great time with this critter sweater stamp set from the new release, and of course you know I love the big perfect shapes also from Simon. So let's get started. I'm going to start by lining up the triangle from the Big Perfect Shapes with, that was the Simon Says Stamp grid transparency that I used to help me line it up. And I just conditioned the stamp, and we're going to start off with High Dive. This is going to be our darkest color. And I'm going to double stamp each one of the triangles to make sure that I get good coverage. One of the things that I've noticed with these good quality inks is that although they can go on a little bit splotchy, like you can see it's kind of some graininess to the ink right there. Once the ink dries and kind of blends within the cardstock, a few minutes later you're going to see, actually even later in this video, that ink appears more even coated. So if you get some blotchiness in the beginning, don't worry, it is going to blend out. So I'm going to play around with the spacing here, and I think what I landed on was 3/4 of an inch shifted down. I'm pretty sure that's what it is in between each one. So I just shifted it down in my Tim Holtz platform here. My Misty has actually the other stamps from this set still in it because I'm working on some tags as well with the sweater pieces. And I'm going to shift it down one more time. The middle color was Audrey Blue, and the lightest color here is Lake Shores, all from Simon Says Stamp. I love these teal colors. These are actually, this and Dull Pink are the large ink pads that I have from Simon. The other inks that I have are all ink cubes. I was trying to save some space, and so those have worked out really well for space savers. So for the green tree, I'm going to start from the top this time, and the lightest color is going to be Jellybean, which is a super bright and vibrant green. I love it. I tend to lean towards cool colors and really bright colors, so these are right up my alley. This next color is Key Lime, another really bright, beautiful ink. And then our darkest color is going to be Lucky, and that's kind of a blue-green as well. And so if you take a look, so this will, again, it'll look a little bit blotchy, but by the time we get to the next frame, we're going to see that that is blended out as it continued to dry. So here we go. So I'm just conditioning my stamp over there. So this stamp is the Merry Christmas sentiment from the Critter Sweater stamp set, and I'm inking it up with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. That's my favorite ink for sentiments. And we're going to go ahead and clear heat emboss both of the cards. I actually made 3 cards for this set. For the third card, I didn't show it here, but what I did is I blended the green and the teal inks together and kind of did it with a sponge dauber, but I think I would use something a little less, I didn't blend the edges, I guess is what I'm trying to say, of the sponge dauber very well. So I think I would try and blend those a little bit better, but the blend of colors together did have a nice effect. So I'm putting on Wow Clear Heat Embossing Powder after I had prepped the surface with an anti-static bag. And while I'm putting on my powders, I'm letting my heat tool heat up so that it's good and hot before I bring it to the paper. That's going to help prevent warping to your cardstock. If you do get a little warping, heat it from the back and that should uncurl it. But you can see it heats up really fast if your heat tool is prepped ahead of time. So once those are done, I'm going to edge each of the pieces of cardstock. I'm actually going to trim the cardstock down 1/8 of an inch on either side. And I'm going to take this Gina K Pure Luxury Petite pattern paper. This is my favorite pattern paper. I love how glossy the stripes are on this. I think that they show up as really stark black. I just love this paper. So that's why I've cut off just small little strips of it, because I definitely don't want to back the whole surface, because I want to conserve as much of this paper as possible. And you don't need it all the way across the back. anyhow. So I'm just lining up the strips with my grid mat so they can make sure I get it on straight. And I'm kind of just eyeballing what 1/8 of an inch would be. And I'm going to do this for all 3 of those card fronts. And then once I get the strips attached, I'll go ahead and trim off the excess from the ends, which is super easy. You can either trim from the front or the back. Once those are trimmed, I'm going to go ahead and line the back with some colored fun foam. I'm going to do green for the green tree and then red for the 2 teal trees, just to add a little interest from the side. So what you can see right there is I have some stray adhesive on my craft mat there, and when I flipped it over, it got on my card front, and then when I tried to erase it off, it pulled off a little bit of the card front. So I'm just using my sand eraser, I'm using my craft knife to try and cut off those pieces that are peeled up and sand the surface, and then I'll erase it a little bit just to kind of buff that surface so that it's less noticeable. So that's definitely something that you can do, and definitely make sure that you clean off your craft mat so that something like that doesn't happen to you. But there's the fix for it if it does happen. So just putting on that, and I use sticky back fun foam so that I don't have to use adhesive on one of the sides. And I'm just using my jewel picker tool here and some glossy accents to put down the Pretty Pink Posh clear droplets. Those are 6mm droplets. And you may not be able to see it, but in order to let go of the droplet, I'm just twisting the jewel picker tool, and that's how I get it off cleanly. Here's a close-up of the teal and the green card. Will come up after. I love how the droplets accentuate the ink underneath, and what a fun and festive edge the Gina K Designs Petite paper adds to that. I just love how these modern cards turned out. Here's the set together. I hope you enjoyed these cards today, and will give creating Christmas trees a try with your triangle stamps. Please make sure you hit the like button below if you enjoyed this video. Also subscribe to my channel, it means so much. And that'll make sure that you see the rest of the projects from this release. I created a few different ones. Thanks again for watching, and here are a few more recommendations for other videos that I've created as well. Have a fantastic day.